KPEL News Time is coming up on 7:45. It's Monday, and it's that time once again. Jaci Russo joins us in the studio for Brand Buzz. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, good to see you, Jaci. So this morning we're talking about creating an effective PR timeline.
Correct.
All right, so tell us some of the reasons that you may need a public relations campaign.
Well, you look at almost any organization at one time or another is going to come across the opportunity for PR, whether it's a positive thing they want to promote or something negative that they need to handle. Either way, you need to know how to do that public relations. You know how to communicate with the public. You need to know who's in charge, who's going to be handling any inquiries from the media, who has the official story, and what it is they need to be saying.
Now, you talk in your blog, razorbrandingblog.com, about laying the groundwork. You say before beginning a campaign and setting a PR timeline, it's important to set goals because they are crucial to success. So when setting goals, what would you recommend?
Well, being realistic. If your story is about a local fundraiser, you should not expect the New York Times to run a front page article.
Right.
And yet sometimes people have some very unrealistic expectations. So you really need to know, what is it that you hope to achieve, and is it realistic that you'll achieve that?
One thing I think as well, coming from this side of it, from the news coverage side of it, that I would say with people that want PR for something is to make sure you get it out in plenty of time.
Right.
It's amazing how many what I would consider last-minute requests for coverage that we get. And I understand there may be from companies that aren't used to necessarily putting out announcements. But it's unfortunate because sometimes we get this news and it comes in so late that it doesn't give us time to kind of shift priorities towards it.
Well, you know, it's interesting to me. Not only that, they're late and they don't understand the need for frequency.
Yeah.
That you can't just say it once and have people remember it. You got to say it over and over and over again, which is why you have to start early.
Yeah.
The other thing that's always amazing to me is when people have an event, for example, where they're going to be raising money, and yet they feel like all the coverage should be free.
Yeah.
Well, wait. You have an event that's going to go raise $350,000, but you think everyone should donate time to you? No. If you're raising money, you need to maybe spend a little bit of it because you can't expect the media to do your work for you for free. They take salaries and electricity to keep this place running. And so, you know, I look at what all of the media have gone through, whether it's radio or TV or print. It is less people doing more work than ever before.
Yeah.
So you can't expect the employees of the mediums to do your job for you. You've got to help out.
Well, and I'll say this, look, because of what you just said, less people doing more work, but also this world that we live in where information, especially like if you're in the news world, information is just coming at you from all angles. I thought what you said was very key about not just being a one-time thing that you put out. You've got to kind of be that bug in their ear to let them know, hey, look, we're relevant, we're important, this is why you should cover us. You can't, look, you can obviously go overboard by sending way too many times, but if you just send it one time, chances are you're going to get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
I think what you said about being persistent about getting them to cover your event is very key.
Well, you know, you got to figure. So KPEL, for example, there's 50, 60, 75,000 people that listen to KPEL. They're not all listening to it at this exact one moment in time.
Exactly.
They're listening to that over the course of a day or a week. So you've got to expect that you have to say it multiple times before everybody hears it. And hearing it once may not be enough because it might not be relevant to me at that moment. So I have to hear it a number of times before it really sinks in and makes that connection.
Absolutely. Jaci Russo, Brand Buzz segment here on Mondays. And we're talking today really about something that's great, 6 steps to creating an effective PR timeline. Now, one thing you mentioned as well is making sure that you have tools in place for measurement before you launch. Can you kind of go into more detail on that one?
Absolutely. So if you want to know how many people hear it, you need to be setting up ahead of time how you're going to count those mentions. How are you going to track it? Are you using a tracking service? Or are you using engagement online through digital choices if people click and share? Are you looking at the social media engagement? So how are you tracking it? Because some of it may require the insertion of a pixel or some other tracking device in advance. So you want to get on that.
And I think one of the most important things about PR is obviously the voice, the person that is presenting, if it's a news conference or whatever. I mean, we've seen some unfortunate I guess you'd say, fails of people representing a company, and they're so nervous because they don't realize the magnitude of the pressure that's coming their way. Talk about the importance of the person that's actually delivering the message on behalf of the company.
Well, you need to, that's the very first thing I said today. You have to have the right person in charge, and everybody has to know who that person is.
Right.
So they're directing all comments that way. And that person needs to be trained. You can't expect that somebody's going to wake up on a Monday and know how to handle the media.
Right.
It is not for most people, a God-given talent. There needs to be some training. And so go through that process. Don't just assume that you know how to handle everything that comes at you. Put yourself through the training and make sure that you're really handling it the right way. You know, in addition to the blog, we've also got a podcast. And so when you listen to that this week, we'll talk more about those trainings and the things that people need to go through to really be the right spokesperson. And if you look at a lot of the fails that have happened, you're seeing smart, intelligent, capable, competent people, CEOs, founders of companies who have brought their company to massive success, and then they screw it all up in a conference call because they didn't go through the proper training.
Jaci Russo has been our guest on this Monday morning edition of the show, Brand Buzz. All right, Jaci, tell our listeners where they can get all of these great nuggets of wisdom.
Well, the easiest place to go is brandrusso.com.
Okay.
You go to brandrusso.com, you can find the blog, you can find the podcast, you can find the ebooks. All that information is stored in one central place.
All right, Jaci Russo, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and take this quick commercial break. When we come back, more here on Acadiana's Morning News.